metres to go. Tayu knows how to win a race. He's a neck in front from Canterbury Crime Fighter. Lux of Fortune flying home, but Tayu wins again. Tayu beat Crime Fighter.
Welcome to ATB TV here at Warrnambool. Darren, just listening to Tayu in the background there. Great to have him back at the PB Lawrence this Saturday.
It was pretty cold down there down the beach before, Pete. Didn't see no whales, but I can see where those horses have been galloping on that beach and their feet were going in probably about that far. It was quite amazing, really. But yeah, you're right. Tayu's first up this weekend at Caulfield in the PB Lawrence Stakes over 1400, and he looks in great order. And whilst we're not really going there expecting too much, he's $41 fixed, and that's his right price because, as you know, he's got to get to about 1800 before he starts to find his form.
It was 3 or 4 runs before he kicked into top gear last prep. What's a pass mark for you, in the race? Just running on?
Well, I think with the cleaner in there, he'll be a mile in front, and I'd just like to see our horse finishing off and, hopefully finishing somewhere around midfield or at least beating a couple of home. And got a long-term plan for him to go towards the Moonee Valley Cup if he's up to it, and I just want to see him run well and pull up good.
Yep, great to see him back in action.
That is.
Right, well, we'll roll into our runners and results, and obviously we haven't had a lot of luck this week, but we're probably at the stage where some of our horses have come to an end of a long winter prep, and others are probably just beginning, so
we're in that transition period, aren't we? Some of those horses that we were about to talk about are going to the paddock, and they were here in May at Warrnambool, and now it's August, so they have to be turned out, and the spring horses are just really winding up.
That's right. Right, we'll roll back to last Thursday where we had Typecast at Hawkesbury, and as you mentioned, we ran into a really good one there, but she shaped up really well to run third.
Pretty happy with the way she got home for third, Pete. More importantly, the Snowdens were, and she made up ground on a very, very good horse. It's probably a group horse, and I think our filly is certainly going to be city class.
Yeah, well, good things going forward there. Martha's Moment was at Seymour on the same day, and she ran 8th.
Yeah, look, the track probably didn't suit her, and the way the race was run, where they stopped the speed and then quick and late, it just didn't suit her. But she needs 2,000, and she should be able to win a maiden.
We move on to Friday, where Liz went to Pakenham, and we had 2 horses run 7th, but one in Cullinan first start. It was a nice debut, I thought.
Yeah, it was. 3-year-old colt having his first start by Strategic, and I know they've got a fair opinion of him. And the jockey did the right thing. He tried to follow the short price favourite to cut him into the race, but it was actually going nowhere in the straight, so he had to peel off and come around and lost a bit of ground, but he wasn't beaten far, and he's going to improve as he gets further.
Yeah, very good work late, and All Roads probably didn't have a lot of luck.
No, I'm not sure about All Roads. I know Darren says she needs 2,000 and she can win a maiden and maybe a 62, and at this stage that's probably where she's at.
Yeah, we rolled on to Saturday where not a luck rolled our way at all. We'll go to Morphettville first, where we had Edge of War and Manor Trust both finished out the back.
Yeah, well look, both horses are now in the paddock at the end of a prep. Manor Trust just, once he gets clogged up amongst them and gets over racing, he just battles and not really at home on the wet, so he's gone for a break. Edge of War, 3 wide the whole trip with no cover, given no real chance to be in the race, and finished off last. And he came home pretty light, he had a long prep, and I think I actually looked up, he'd been in work since November, so he won a couple of races, and we just got to give him a break and try again next year.
Yeah, no, he was pretty good, a couple of wins in 3 or 4 placings, so we were at Flemington with a Basso, Falago and Firehouse Rock. Firstly a Basso.
Yeah, well, we all got a shock of our life when he led. The instructions to the stewards were we were going to go back, and Damien elected to go to the front and lead on him, so he was gone 200 out and just battled midfield. Damien said it's probably the wrong way to ride him, and next start he'll go back. I think he's going to Moonee Valley next, which probably won't suit him either, but there's no races for him. Firehouse Rock for David Hayes and Tom Davinick was first up, and he'd been really working well since he'd been gelded, and they elected to take the blinkers off him, but that backfired, and he just ran around with his mates without really letting go, so he'll certainly have the blinkers on for his second up, so just forget he went round. And Falago, he ran a nice race to run 5th, beaten a couple of lengths, and we just felt his last 50 metres wasn't that good. And once again, he was a horse that raced here, Pete, during May, and yeah, we've elected to put him out and bring him back sort of over the summer months. And, you know, he's done really well since joining the Darren Weir stable. And a lot of people don't realise that he actually did 3 months rehab work before he went to Darren. So once again, he's probably nearly been in work 11 months. So he's really going to enjoy a break.
Well, for sure. Sunday we went to Ballarat and we had Royal Fantasy, who was scratched during the week.
Yeah, it was a big day at Ballarat with the Grand National.
Great day, yes.
The international jockey, what's his name?
Ruby Walsh.
Ruby Walsh.
Everyone's going to call their kid Ruby now, I reckon.
Yeah, flew in a helicopter and flew out and won the race. Good on him. But Royal Fantasy, she was looking for a heavy track. That was bottomless heavy. Got caught on the rail and just never finished off. And unfortunately, Dean never got the chance to get off the rail, and the other riders made sure he stayed there, and she was gone 200 out. So
she was able to kick through, but I think, and then the effort really told her she
just
was
couldn't
in
get
the
off.
ground.
Just couldn't get off.
Yeah.
So once again, unfortunately, you know, she's going well, and in hindsight, we probably should have went to Sandown, but you roll the dice going for the heavy ground, it just doesn't work out sometimes.
That's right. And then we had a couple of days break, but yesterday we went to Sandown with Lucky on Barefoot and Le Passe, both ran well.
Yeah, I don't think either had a particularly lot of luck either. Lucky on Barefoot got caught, posted wide. Brandon Stockdale on the other horse made sure he was posted without cover, and you know that just doesn't do the horse any favours. He looked like he was going to run last at the 300, but to his credit, he picked up and found the line to run fifth. And look, he's another horse that's been in forever, so we'll just have to see how he pulls up and whether we get another run into him or whether he goes out and gets set up for winter next year. Yep. And Le Passe drew the inside, had no luck, didn't she? She got held up on the fence and they wouldn't let her into the better ground. And, you know, once again, her last 100 was sensational, was really good. And the jock felt if she had been able to get off the fence early in the straight, she probably would have picked them up and won the race. But I don't know, sometimes horses, they just have a bit of bad luck, don't they? Because she won that race in town and then she got a foot abscess, missed a bit of work. Ran fourth at Geelong when she was just a bit underdone, and then yesterday she was sort of ready to win, and then, you know, she gets caught on the fence. So
not always ideal drawing inside barriers.
Not in winter,
no.
And not when you're a get-back run on horse. So look, hopefully there's another win in her before she goes for a break.
There looks to be one in her if we can find the right race. That's it for those. Now we look forward.
Yep.
Saturday, obviously we've mentioned Teu, but we've also got Already Like Her at Matoa.
Yeah, well, you'll be going to Matoa, Pete. To watch
going for a little drive, yeah.
Up to watch Already Like Her go around. Look, she's no champion, but we'd like to see if she can win another race before we look at moving her on. Look, from that gate at Matoa, should we decide in the end to run there, she's got to be competitive.
With the claim?
And claiming, and he won on her when she won a maiden over at Naracoorte, and hopefully she can just get a good run and get every chance to run them down.
Yep. We move on then to Sunday Bendigo. We've got two in the one race, Imaging and Princess Hussey over a mile.
Yeah, well, I'm not exactly sure whether it's going to depend on the track. Yeah. It's currently a heavy 8. Look, Princess Hussey's no good in the wet, and I don't think Imaging really loves it. He's got the blinkers coming off and the hood going back on. So we'll just have to wait and see how the track dries out. But if it's heavy, Princess Hussey 100% won't run. I'm hoping it gets back to a soft or a dead 5 in the old. Yep. There's some nice weather over the next 3 days. And Imaging, well, you're never sure what he's going to do, but the hood on, the blinkers off. Hopefully Brad's riding him, and he's a good horse, but he's just got a few tricks. He gave himself no hope the other day when he charged the lead and you couldn't hold him. But hopefully, we can get on top of this horse because he is Saturday City class. As they start soaring in the background, Pete.
Bit of live entertainment in the background here at Warrnambool. Monday we go to Echuca and we've got a first starter in Stringer Bell as well as Grand Arrow.
Yeah, I don't think Grand Arrow will get a run looking at the noms. He's way down the order, so we're just going to have to keep nominating him until we get on a decent track or get a run. He doesn't handle the wet either. Stringer Bell's a first starter. He's a nice horse, got a lot of time for him. He's trialled well, Pete, over the last month or so. Just been impressive in his trials, and I know Brad likes him. We're just trying to make sure we put him in the right race first up, because when you're first up, you're guaranteed to get a start. But if you don't sort of run the top 4, then you sort of go to the bottom of the ballot, and it's a bit hard. And
1,100 metres too.
Yeah, we think he can be a competitive horse in the spring somewhere, so it'd be important to get him to the right track. So he could go to Echuca, he could go to Mildura, he could go to Seymour, just not sure yet.
Because these are forecast, obviously the acceptances aren't out.
That's right, but he's a nice horse and he'll certainly be one to follow.
Yeah, and just to go on to that, we looked further forward to Wednesday at Canterbury with Typecast. Whether she saddles up there or not, we're probably not 100% sure yet. But
yeah, well, look, as I said earlier, her first up run was sensational. You know, she ran quicker last 400 than the odds-on horse. I think it paid $1.04 or $1.07.
Yeah.
Lady Geneva, been placed in a diamond and a slipper, and she's run up to 2 lengths and was closing on it late. So you'd think with natural improvement, Canterbury's a bit of a tight track, bit like Moonee Valley. She just needs to draw well. She just needs to jump well. And if she can just have a bit of luck, she's going to be really hard to beat should they go there.
That's right. Well, that covers everything. Runners result. Not it'd be a light week probably with runners, but as we said, it's great to see Tohu back this Saturday, and hopefully we can find a result amongst them. We're a bit bare in the cupboard at the moment.
I'm sure there'll be a winner there, or maybe two. We just need a bit of luck and the right gates and the right conditions. But at this stage, we'll just see what unfolds. But look, the horses are running well without winning it over the last week, and a lot of it's luck in running, and you go through those patches. But
exactly,
we know we've got the right stock, and we know they'll get the job done sooner or later. You've been hard at work, Pete, on the website.
Yes.
Going through and just tidying up the owners and the racehorses, and you think you've now finished that and got it right. So any owners out there that don't have their name on their horse on the side, or just email Pete, but I reckon he's got it 99.9% right.
That's the key. If you're not getting reports and you think, well, hold on, my horse has been around about, how come I'm not getting a report? Email me, because it'll be a quick fix problem. And we want all you owners to be getting all the updates as we have them out. We're basically looking that, if you've got a racehorse in work, every 2 weeks you should minimum get something with brood mares and possibly this year's yearlings, maybe a little bit extended monthly, but we want you to be letting us know if you're not getting the reports, because it's,
we'll fix
paramount.
it, because that's what keeps us awake at night. Pete's going to go through and fix up all the mares and the yearlings on Friday, so by the end of this week we'll have it all up to date.
Yep.
And then we're going to do a bit more work on the newsletter. And,
thanks for those that replied with, we're going to have an owners feature, and obviously I sent a bit out about the late mail luncheon, so that's going to be a great event. We'd love to have 20 ATB people at that function. So if you're interested, it's first in, best dressed.
It's only 8 or 10 weeks away.
It's not far away, no.
It's all going to be over before we know it. But so if you do want to come to the late mail luncheon on Derby Eve, make sure you email Pete and get your name down, and we'll keep you up to date on what goes forward. But Pete, it's not too bad. It's a little hint of spring in the air down here at Warrnambool, isn't there?
It's not too bad for the bull.
Not too bad at all. And anyway, until next week, I'm Darren Dance, and this is Peter Morganti.
Just before you go, do you want a tip?
No.
I'll cut that. Righto.
Do you? You sure? What are we going to tip?
Nothing. I didn't know what to tip. I just thought we forgot it. So do you want to finish with that again?
Yeah. Well, that's about it for the week. Come on, Pete, give us a winner. I heard you've had. I heard you got a horse somewhere, not with us. It's won 3 in a row.
Yeah, with Darren Weir.
Kept that pretty quiet, didn't he?
Yeah, I haven't backed it once. And it's up for sale.
And for sale.
So if anyone that's got 100,000 out there,
Matagami.
Yeah,
well done, mate. 3 in a row. Right. How good's that?
That is good. Yeah.
Anyway, until next week, at least someone here is getting a winner. I'm Darren Dance. This is Peter Morganti.